it is in a way to replace with our new heroes of the independence, to replace that. But I think we lost our sense of history. That's part of our history. It should be embedded as such to me. And I think it's more important to know our history than just to replace it by new names of our national hero. So
But there is a false.
this is what they do actually. They just change the name like that. Yes.
There is this idea that you would be more Malaysian in inspiration if you forget the idea of that you were colonized with Jalan Swettenham right in front of you.
You can't do that. I mean, the past is the past. You just can't change names like that. I mean, you cannot erase your past. You got to go forward. What you do, your past is good. In fact, it's good to remind us what was our past. We've been colonized. We've been dominated. Yes, and you should go further ahead rather than just change the name of that. I don't see anything. There are many new towns now, many new places now. You can have these names of the new national hero.
What happens if there's a road called Jalan Najib Razak or
That will be very infamous. Very. Because the moment they know about that, they just say that, that man. They only have to say, please, that man. That's it. Other than that, they don't do that.
Back to that same subject, there's a lot more history that we actually was not told.
Yes.
For instance, the Chandis in Kedah.
Yes.
Now they have discovered there's another history before Chandi was actually being built. So these are the things that we should know as a public. I mean, we were not born as Muslim. This is what I'm trying to say. We have been multiracial from the day existence of Malaya, for instance, or the empire of Malays. So what do you feel that we should do to actually encourage the younger generation to know our actual history?
Yeah, unfortunately we did not discover making a record for our past history. Sometimes it's just for political reasons they don't want to secure this for frame of something that I don't know. That we are multiracial society in Malaysia is, in a way, is coincidental. In a way, the Chinese been brought from China to do works here. The Indians have done that, but we coexist and we live quite naturally in a many ways, quite peacefully. And in fact, it's so colorful in a way and vibrant society, and we have such a vibrant society because of during those years. Only later on, when the colonial master left us and we start wrangling at each other. But if you notice that before, no, because the colonial master is there, you should behave that way, and we all behave that way. Why can't they do? Why can we do that? And now when we have to be together to govern ourselves, we start wrangling. That's because in a way it's prejudice. Now when I say prejudice, it's not racial prejudice as such. It's a personal prejudice. Now even among Chinese, they have prejudice among Hokkien and Cantonese. Malays is the same thing. With Indonesians or Sumatran or whatever, with the Javanese, origin and so on. So you have that. So is India among the, the untouchable and so on. So among themselves also they have prejudice. But to me, it's personal prejudice. It's not racial. And we can only get out of this if we educate ourselves. We educate ourselves to be tolerant, to be acceptable to other races, and not to fear. Most of these prejudices is come out from fear, from jealousy, and from envy of the other race getting better than you are. But if you really study and become more tolerant, and whatever the other guys can get it, you also can get it. We are all equal in that sense. And truly in Malaysia, we are all equal, and we have the opportunities open to all. And we should be, very proud of that kind of situation.
Okay, my next question is quite personal because I think I can relate with you with your children because I'm also a mixed, with mixed cultural heritage and all that. So would that be a problem in the future? Will we, as previously you actually explained, using the hovercraft and all that, there's no passport issuance and all that. So, how real is that? Will Indonesia, because we used to be one empire then,
Yes.
so would that be what we are expecting in the future?
Yeah, it will be real because the moment that you have no fear anymore, the others subjugating you or taking over you or things like that, you won't be worried anymore. As I say, this prejudice stems from worry, from worry about all these things. And security, that's already you safeguard, But when the population become one as a universal people, you will travel, for example, when to get work. And then for the world, as you know, the worlds are different, and different people, there are different kind of resources. Yeah. Some countries have more resources than the others. Some countries are richer than the others. Some countries are good in terms of industry. And that's in the end how the population will migrate. And even today, as you know, when you want to get work, you go as far as Saharas and so on to get work. So there's no difference. Then you can come back or you can live in Sahara. But if you have good transport, it make it much better. So the world is more or less tolerant in that way. They accepted things except Donald Trump. What about Donald Trump? He's trying to go into the old world still. But tomorrow's world, we are all the same. And we are beginning to be the same, as I said before. Look at our dress, as I repeat again. It's the same. At one time we say this belong to the Englishman, or to wear ties and so on. Today, no, it is universal clothes. Everybody uses it. That's been universal. The standards of the criteria for workmanship in terms of technology and so on has been established, has been standardized, and they become a standard. At one time you have many standards. You have British standard, we call it British standards. Motorcycle is British standards, the branding British standard, and you have to follow certain criteria. And then you have German standard called DIN, D-I-N. You have American standard. So each country before all have their own standard. Now they're trying to pull into one, what they call it international standard. So you can see that where before the power that be had their own standard. The only thing has not changed at the moment is the empirical mathematics that and the European one, the centimeters and so on that we use are different. They should be one, so that everybody will be the same. In other words, it's been regularized, and in that term, it becomes homogeneity. And you also know that, in terms of business, it has been regularized, homogenized as well. It's based on profitability, it's based on certain things in saving and so on, and the laws of commerce and so on. Before, every nation had their own law. So now we are beginning to be uniform in a way, in everything. If we follow that train of thought, all of us will be uniform into one, a universal man. That's what will become. Perhaps English will become the dominant language, as it is now, beginning to. without anybody forcing it or regulating it. How does it become? Because it's such a powerful language. So that's part of it. So this intermarriage and so on, it's not like it was before. You know, it's a foregone conclusion. You know, you do it every day, and why it is a different of habits. As again through the culture. At one time we got married is through program and through tradition into arrangement. But today, no. Unless there's love, we won't get married. That's why you see many girls don't get married. For that reason. But truly, I mean, you think of it, you know, they don't unless you. So it doesn't matter what races you are. If you're really in love, they don't care. They just got married. And that's the attitude. And it's been acceptable. That's what's the more important thing is the acceptability of people. But of course, there are some quarters in the want to go backwards and so on. And we got to help that. We always have that kind of.
And